This is interesting in that we don't need to see the pens, do we? I mean, that's pretty good. No different setup with the new camera. Everything's in frame, so that's fine. And a good afternoon to everybody. Happy Sunday. I see Collins here. And 7 others. I'm Spokane Steve, and it's time for Strat-O-Matic Baseball. First of all, I'm pleased to announce that I'm completely set up with T-Mobile now. I'm both optimistic and apprehensive. Optimistic that it'll work because the speed tests have been great, but also if I have problems with this, I don't know where else to turn. I did my research on this. According to J.D. Power, whoever the hell that is, this is the top-rated internet in Spokane. And with that in mind, we'll proceed to the game. Today's game, June the 9th, Cincinnati at Philadelphia. The third of a 3-game series. Philly's going for the sweep. Reds trying to salvage one. Joey J starts for the Reds. You can see by his card he'll finish the season with Atlanta. And righty Bob Buell gets the nod for the Phillies. Hello there, Franklin. How you doing today? By the way, Franklin sent me a marvelous picture of him with Boog Powell. I saved that in my photos folder, by the way. On my primary laptop, my screensaver is Photo Slideshow, so that'll pop up every once in a while. There's a lot of pictures on there. It's not going to pop up every day, but it will pop up occasionally. Let's take a look at the records for these two starters. Jay 3-3 with a 5.44 ERA. This is his 9th start of the season. He's appeared once in relief. For Buell, he is 3-1, 3.27, a fine season for Buell so far. This will be his 5th start. He's also worked out of the bullpen in 5 games. Just 33 innings so far for Buell. 46 1/3 for Jay. And that brings us to the starting lineup for the Cincinnati Reds. It goes as follows. Tommy Harper leads it off in right field. Pete Rose is at second base. Rose has been moving all over the lineup lately. You probably noticed that. Veda Pinson in center field hits third. Darren Johnson is in left field. Tony Perez playing more and more with each passing day. He's at first base hitting 5th. Tommy Helms drops down to the 6th spot at third base. Leo Cardenas is the shortstop. Johnny Edwards the catcher. And whoops, there it is. Jay the pitcher hitting 9th. Sitting there going, where the hell did that pitcher's hitting card go? It's not whether you win or lose, but whenever you win. Hello there to Ben. Welcome in, Ben. Oh, yeah, Ben enjoying his last day off, I think, right? Before heading back to the grindstone. As Eric O would call it. And at 1:30, we're ready to go. How about that? Buell ready to go to work. Tommy Harper steps in. Harper hitting just 165, no homers, 3 RBIs, still trying to get untracked. Buell set now. Here's a 2-5 righty, and that's a line drive single into left field. And we are underway. Harper reaches with a leadoff single. Harper, of course, with great speed on the bases. Let's check the battery for the Phillies now. Buell is 0 hold. Dalrymple with that good -2 arm. That makes Harper a 16. He'll be held at 14, and Pete Rose comes to bat. Rose, the leading hitter on the Reds at 287. 2 homers, 8 RBIs. Harper's rolling for that lead. 2 through 5, 11. He misses it with a 6. Just missed it. Rose hitting left-handed against Buell now. Here's the pitch on a 6-8 lefty. Gets a fly to center, playable for Gonzalez, who's there to flag it down. And there's one down. Not enjoying your last day off. Oh, geez, Ben, I'm sorry to hear that. Hate my ex-roommate. Yeah, I'm not thrilled with the state of the world either, Ben. But we have to live in it. For me personally, as much as possible, I try to block out all that outside noise and just do my thing. I'm not saying it's always easy, but that's really all you can do. In fact, I'm going to my first therapy session for anger management on Tuesday. Oh no, mold. Does that mean you have mold? Oh geez, I've dealt with that before. That's no fun. Hey there, Bob. Welcome in. Yikes. And her room, of course, being in what is now your apartment. One away, here's Pinson. Veda Pinson, let's find his stats. 254, 4 home runs, 26 RBIs. Buell from the stretch. Pitch to Pinson is a 1-7. It's a grounder to second, but with the runner held, that's going to be a 2-star single. Harper all the way to third. So Pinson rips it through the vacated hole. Harper just keeps going. And the Reds are in business here in the top of the first. Pinson 13 not held. They're going to have to hold him on. First and third, runner being held, and here's Darren Johnson. Johnson at 220 leads the ball club in homers with 10 and RBIs with 29. Buell will gladly give up a run to get the 2 outs here. Actually, there's 1 out, so the double play would end the inning. I beg your pardon. Here is the pitch. 3-10 right-handed, fly to right field B ? Callison makes the catch. He's got a -4 gun out there. Harper 17-19. -4, 15. Harper's going to tag and try to score. Here comes the throw to the plate. He scores. So Harper crosses the plate on the sac fly by Pinson. And it's 1-0 Reds. 2 away. Here's Tony Perez, the youngster Tony Perez. 256, 1 homer, 6 RBIs. Buell from the stretch. That's going to be a 111 right-handed, a grounder to first base. White has it. He takes it to the bag, and that'll do it. The Reds settle for 1 on 2 hits and leave a man. And after half an inning of play, it's Cincinnati 1, Philadelphia coming to bat against Joey J. Well, Colin, it's definitely part of it. Yes. Here's the lineup for the Phillies. Cookie Rojas leads off at second base. Johnny Callison in right field. Dick Allen is in left. Bill White in the cleanup spot at first base. Tony Gonzalez in center. Dick Groth, the shortstop. Clay Dalrymple will do the catching and hit seventh. Phil Linz at third. I can't seem to pick up these hitting cards today. Buell, the pitcher, batting last. I've got my coffee. Cup of Coastal Peaks coffee today. Yeah, I ordered another bag of Coastal Peaks Cosmo blend. I want to do a little taste test. Okay, Jay ready to go to work. Here's Cookie Rojas to start it off. Where is Rojas? 244 average, 3 home runs, 19 RBIs. Joey J gets the sign from Edwards. The windup down the pitch on a 5-3 right-handed. Fly to right field X, Harper on the move. He's a 3-E2. Here's the play on a 3. He can't get it. That's going to drop. Whoops, right field. Still same result. It's going to drop for a base hit. Can't help but think of Harper as a center fielder, but he is in right field today. So Rojas with a leadoff single, and here's Johnny Callison. Callison hitting .292, 6 home runs, 33 RBIs. Jay from the stretch. That's going to be a 6-8 left-handed, and that's banged into right field for a base hit, double to 2. And on the long single, Rojas will take third. The Phillies come right back-to-back singles in the first, and they've got them on the corners with nobody out. Heart of the order coming up. And here's Dick Allen. Allen having a magnificent season, batting .385, 12 home runs, 30 RBIs. All in just 117 at-bats. Remember, he missed a lot of games. Infield at double play depth. Jay set now. The pitch to Dick Allen on a 1-6. That's hit high and deep to left field. That's going to be over Johnson's head. Triple to 13. It's going to be a double. Rojas can walk home. Callison rounding 15. Pinson to -213. With nobody out, they'll hold him up. And that'll be an RBI double from Dick Allen to tie the ball game. 1-1 here in the first inning. 5 hits already in this ball game. I would have predicted this to be a offensive game going in just based on the 2 starting pitchers. Oh, Bob, I tell you, I'm okay mostly when I'm at home, but when I get out, especially driving, I'm telling you, literally everything pisses me off. And a lot of stuff on TV does too. So yeah, no, I definitely have a problem. But I'm always in a good mood when I'm playing Strat-O-Matic. Getting close to a stat update of my 1982 replay, speaking of Strat. Tie game, second and third, we're going to roll in or back. 1 through 3 we're in, and the Reds will pull it in for Bill White. White hitting .259, 10 homers, and his 45 RBIs ranking among the league leaders. The pitch from Jay is a 4-7 left-handed. That is going to be a hot smash to first, single to 18, knocked down at first, and that's going to be an infield single with a run scoring, and the Phillies take the lead. RBI single from Bill White. Allen stops at third. And it's 2-0 Phillies. Looks like White will have to be held on. Jay with a poor hold, +5. Edwards a 0. So White 20, held at 18. Still nobody out. He's going to roll for the lead. He needs a 4 or a 6. 5. Oh, right in between. Still being held, here's Tony Gonzalez. Gonzalez batting an even 300. Just 1 homer, 14 RBIs. Infield remains back. And the pitch from Jay is a 5-4. Left-handed, fly to center field X. Pinson on his horse. 2E14. Here's the play on an 8. He comes in and makes a fine catch on the shallow fly ball, and the runners hold. Nice play, Pinson. That probably saved a run. That's just the first out of the inning, and here's Dick Grote. Exactly, Colin. He would be. He'd be up there. I won't say he would have more than Aaron, but he'd probably be second in the league. I think it's Jimmy Wynn second, Willie Mays third in home runs right now. Grote hitting just .217, 1 homer, 17 RBIs. They will stay back. Jay's still trying to get that double play grounder. The pitch to Grote is a 5-10. A grounder to shortstop X, and that might be it. Cardenas, a good shortstop, 216. Here's the play on a 4. He's got it, but his only play is to first, and another run will score. So on a 6-3X, Allen scores, White to second. And credit Grote with an RBI. 2 away, and here's the catcher, Clay Dalrymple. 3-1 Phillies, and we're just getting underway. Dalrymple batting .291, 2 homers, a dozen RBIs. The pitch from Jay on a 4-11 left-handed is a fly ball to left field X. Tough chance for Darren Johnson, a 4E6. Racing to the gap on an 18. It's a 2-star single, and that's going to play yet another run. White all the way in to score on the RBI single from Dalrymple. And the Phillies lead it 4-1. They're all over Joey J here in the first. With 2 away, here's the third baseman, Phil Linz. Linz 4 for 9 in limited play. Pitch from Joey J is a 4-6 right-handed fly to center, playable for Pinson, and that will do it. So the Phillies don't quite bat around in the first, but they do plate 4 runs on 5 hits and leave them down. Four to 1 Phillies. We go to the second inning. Well, let's see what the Reds can muster here against Bob Buell. Tommy Helms will start it off. Helms batting .269, 3 home runs, 20 RBIs. Buell into the windup. That's going to be a 4-4 right-handed. A grounder to third base X. That's Linz. 3E15 ranges to his left. Here's the play on a 10. It's the E range. So we've got a 9 on a 15. He should make that, and he does. And there's 1 down. Nice play, Linz. Linz has been starting the last couple games. I'm not sure what's going on there. They were using Bobby Wine at short for a while and playing Grote at third. We haven't seen much of Tony Taylor for a while, who's played quite a bit of third base for the Phillies this year. Here's the shortstop, Leo Cardenas, hitting .224 with 7 homers and 23 RBIs, however. Cardenas hasn't hit for a high average, but he has been fairly productive, especially for a good fielding shortstop. The pitch from Buell, 5'11" righty. That's a high fly ball to deep left field. Backing up is Dick Allen at the track, at the wall. It's gone. Leo Cardenas with his 8th home run of the year. Yeah, that makes the score 4-2. We were talking last week about the All-Star game and never finished the thought. Obviously, at this point, Gene Alley would be the National League shortstop. But my vote for the second shortstop on the team would be Cardenas. The 2E16, now 8 home runs. Defense first in the middle infield. Here's Edwards, the catcher. 216 average, 3 homers, 13 RBIs. The pitch from Buell is going to be a 6'4" lefty. Grounder to short X. Tough chance for Grote. Grote is a 322. Into the hole he goes. On an 18, he makes a fine stop. Long throw in time. So a nice play by Grote. There's 2 down, and it'll be the pitcher, Joey J. Switch hitter. He'll hit lefty against Buell. And Buell's pitch on a 3-2. He pops him up right side. White will take it, and that's the inning. Reds get a run on the Leo Cardenas home run to make the score 4-2. I tell you, I'm pretty excited about this internet. I don't want to jinx it, but speeds are testing about 6 or 7 times faster than the AT&T was. Still not getting 5 gigs. I guess that's... my guess is because of where I live. So far, so good, though. Okay, 4-2 bottom of the second. Buell will lead it off. He's a right-handed hitter. Here comes the pitch from Jay on a 5-7, and that is hit into the gap in left center. That's going to be a double to 10, and look at that. Buell with a leadoff double. So the Phillies picking up right where they left off in the first. Jay not fooling anybody today. Maybe we better look for a long man out of the pen here for the Cincinnati Reds. And we've been down this road before. Whew. Let me go to my computer. I should have done this prior to the game. There has got to be somebody who's computer only who I don't have a card for yet. Daryl Osteen, but he only had 15 innings. Really, there isn't. So lefty Joe Nuxall takes off the jacket. We've seen him before. Here's Cookie Rojas. He singled his first time up. Jay with the pitch on a 3-7 righty. It's a grounder to short. Cardenas has it, looks the runner back, and throws him out. 1 down, and here's Callison. Callison also singled in the first. Jay checks the runner, comes to the plate 4-7, and that's going to be a hot smash to first, single to 18. And that's an infield single. Stopping at third is Buell. Not sure how much further the Reds can go with Joey J. It's very early yet. They're certainly not going to bring Nuxhall in to face Dick Allen, I can tell you that. Dick Allen at bat, he doubled in the first. One down in field will be back. Jay trying to coax the ground ball out of Allen. And here's the pitch on a 2-2. Fly to center field, B question mark. You can tag on that, right? Yep, so that's a fly to center. Buell at third, however, will not attempt it. 2 down, and here's Bill White. White singled in a run in the first, came around to score himself. The pitch from Jay is a 2-12 righty, and he walks him to load him up. Out to the mound goes Johnny Edwards as Nuxhall begins throwing with intensity in the Reds' pen. Hello there, Frank. In the Frank pre-play, Reds edged the Phillies 7-6. Okay, he's going to face Gonzalez. Bases loaded, 2 out. Here's the pitch to Tony Gonzalez on a 3-6. Ripped into the right center gap. Over to cut it off is Harper. Double to 9. He's going to settle for the long single. 2 runs will score. And it is 6-1 Phillies. Scoring is Buell. Callison scores from second all the way to third goes White. And that's going to do it for Joey J. I stuck with him as long as I did because, frankly, the Reds' bullpen outside of McCool is not good. Let's take a look at Nuxhall's numbers on the season. Ten appearances, 2 of them starts. He's 1-0 with a 4.05. Runners at the corners, 2 away. Here's Grote. Nuxhall delivers. 5-5 righty. It's a grounder to short X. That's Cardenas once again. 2-16, and here's the play. On a 6, he makes a fine play and throws him out to end the inning. Third assist already for Cardenas, 2 more for the Phillies on 3 hits, and they leave 2. Only 2 innings, and it's 6-2 Phillies. It certainly feels like it's been more than 2 innings. At least from where I sit. Top of the order for the Reds. Tommy Harper will start it off. Harper singled, came around to score in the first. Buell into the windup. That's a 6-7 righty. Grounder to second base X. That's going to be Rojas, a good second baseman, 2-15. Behind the bag, here's the play. It's through into center for a base hit. It would have taken a 1 to make that play, and Harper's aboard again. Minus 216. Harper held on at 14. As much as I'd like to go, trailing by 5. They're going to let Rose swing away. Batting left-handed, Buell from the stretch. That's a 1-7 righty. Base hit into right field. Harper being waved to third, and he'll go all the way to third on a single by Rose. The Reds have him cornered with nobody out. So the Reds trying to answer back here in the third. Heart of the order coming up, and here's Veda Pinson. Pinson also singled in the first. Infield playing back. Here's the pitch from Buell. It's going to be a 3-9 right-handed. Called strike 3. Oh, Pinson is not happy. We're trailing by 4, and you're going to call that? I could read his lips. One down. Here's Darren Johnson. Johnson a sac fly in the first. Infield still back. From the stretch, it's a 1-5. Called strike 3. Back-to-back punch-outs by Buell. And it's up to Tony Perez. Buell checks the runners. The pitch to Tony is a 5-7 righty, and he walks him to load him up. Rose down to second. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and here's Tommy Helms. Reds desperately need to plate at least 1 in this inning. Here's the pitch from Buell. On a 3-8 right-handed grounder to short, Grote to White, and Buell gets out of it. No runs, 2 hits. The Reds leave the bases loaded in the third. Well, waste not, want not. Kind of reminds me of the Braves the other day. Bottom third of the order for the Phillies. Clay Dalrymple will start it off. He singled in a run in the first. Nuxall gets the sign from Edwards. The pitch is a 6-5 left-handed, and that is going to be a high fly ball to deep right field. Going back and gone. Clay Dalrymple with the home run. I had to look at that twice. And you can see why. Dalrymple a weak versus right-handers, but he does have end power against lefties. So on a 6-5 homer to 13, he just does get it out of here. And for Dalrymple now, that's just his 3rd home run of the season. That makes it 7-2. And the batter will be Phil Linz. Here's the pitch from Nuxall on a 5-3 righty. It's a fly to left field X. That's Darren Johnson. 4-6, Johnson ranging over on an 11 E range. It's a 6 on an E6, and he makes a fine running catch for the out. Fine catch by Darren Johnson in left, and that'll bring up the pitcher Buell. Nuxall delivers a 3-7 ground ball to second base. Rose takes it, flips to Perez, and there's 2 away. Top of the order, here's Cookie Rojas. Rojas 1 for 2. The pitch from Joe Nuxall is a 5-7 right-handed grounder to second base X. That's Rose. 2E17 as he ranges behind the bag. Here's the play on an 8. E range is a 3 on a 17. This sounds bad. It is. That's going to be an error on Rose. So E4, that's the first error in the game. Rojas at first with 2 away, and the batter is Callison. Left on left, Nuxall delivers. 4-3 is a fly to right field X. That's Harper. Harper on his horse. 3E2. Here's the play on a 17. He makes a fine running, 17 left right field again. He makes the fine running catch to retire the side. Phillies add a run on the Clay Dalrymple home run, and after 3, they lead it 7-2. Let me see what Frank put in here. Mets 2-12 last 14. We're outscored 30-4 in Pittsburgh. Yes, you know it's a one-sided game when they bring in a position player to pitch. Is that Travis Jankowski? Holy crap, I didn't even know he was still in the league. Good defensive outfielder, never hit much. Okay, we're going to the 4th here. On a beautiful Spokane Sunday, 82 and sunny. Leo Cardenas will lead it off. He homered his first time up. Buell into the windup. It's going to be a 1-6 righty. Fly to left field, playable. Allen under it. And makes the catch. Here's the catcher, Johnny Edwards. Buell gets the sign from Dalrymple. The pitch is a 1-9 righty. Routine grounder to second. Cookie Rojas is there to plug up the hole and flip it to White for out number 2. And now we've got the pitcher with 2 down. Nuxall, a 1 left-handed hitter. He's going to hit. 5'9" lefty. That's going to be a triple to 8. High fly ball over the head of Callison. Triple to 8. It's going to be a double for Joe Nuxall. Oh my goodness, how about that? The only reason I let Nuxall bat is because the Reds need to get some length out of him, and you've got 3 out of the 4 batters coming up left-handed. That's true, Ben. A double for Buell and now a double for Nuxall. And here's Harper, 2 for 2. Buell checks the runner. Pitch to Tommy Harper on a 6-10 is a fly ball to left. That's playable for Allen, and that will wrap up the top of the 4th. No runs to hit, 1 left. And we welcome in Gerald and Rick. Heart of the order for the Phillies. Bottom of the 4th, Dick Allen will start it off. He's 1 for 2. Nuxall with the windup and the pitch on a 4-11 right-handed, and Allen promptly bangs that into left field for a base hit. Leadoff single for Allen. Surprisingly good base stealer. Not held at 13. They're not going to hold him. Reds figuring the 5-run lead, they're not going to try that, and they'd be correct. And welcome in Unmitigated. How big is a gorilla bag, Ben? Here's Bill White, who singled and walked so far. Nuxall out of the stretch. That's going to be a 2-8 lefty, and that's a high fly ball to deep right field. Going back is Harper at the track, at the wall. It's off the wall for extra bases. Allen could try to score on that. He rounds third. 15 plus 1, 16. They're going to send him. The Reds, oh my goodness. They got to try to cut that down, even if it means White taking third. The throw to the plate, he scores easily, and White moves into third on the throw. So it's an RBI double for White. Scoring all the way from first is Allen. And White ends up at first, and the route is on. It's 8-2. Nuxall to Gonzalez. It's a 4-9 left-handed. Grounder to first base, B. I'm sorry, that should have been infield in with a runner at third. They're going to get the lead man. My apologies, but yes, consistent with my way of playing, runner in third, nobody out, and they can't afford to give up another run. The infield definitely would be in. And it saves a run. Here's Grote now with one away. Nuxall's pitch on a 6-8 righty, grounder to shortstop. That's going to be 2. Cardenas to Rose for 1, to Perez, double play. Phillies add a run on 2 hits, nobody left. After 4 complete, it's 8-2. 4 feet, 3 feet, 2 feet. That's a big bag. No doubt about it. Eight to 2, we go to the 5th. Pete Rose will lead it off. He's 1 for 2. Here's the pitch from Buell. That's going to be a 3-4 right-handed. He lifts it the other way to left field. Dick Allen barely has to move and makes the catch. Here's Pinson now, 1 for 2. Buell into the windup. That's a 6-8 left-handed. Fly ball to straightaway center. Gonzalez backs up a bit and hauls it in. Here's DJ now, 0 for 1. Sack fly in the first, struck out in the third. Here's the pitch. 5-6 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. First 1-2-3 inning for Buell. And with a big lead, he's going right after him. I can't argue with that, Colin. That's one reason why I left Nuxall in this long. Let's take a look at Nuxall now. He's worked 2 1/3. He's rated 3 for relief endurance. Bottom of the order for the Phillies. Dalrymple 2 for 2, an RBI single in the first, and he had a home run in the third against Nuxall. Nuxall's pitch on a 2-7 struck him out. That'll bring up the third baseman, Phil Linz. The windup and the pitch, 5-8 right-handed. He lifts it to right field and playable for Harper, who's there to make the grab. 2 outs quickly here in the 5th. Buell will be the batter, right-handed hitter. Nuxall's pitch on a 6-5. That's going to be a single to 9, double anything else. It will be a single for Buell, who's 2 for 3. Buell doing it all today. So far, so good, Frank. I was watching part of the Orioles Tampa Bay this morning. Runner at first, 2 away. Here's Cookie Rojas, who's 1 for 3 on the day. Nuxall from the stretch. It's a 6-5 righty, and that's going to be single to 9, double anything else. That will be a double. Buell could try to score. 10, 12, Pinson a -2, 10. They're going to hold him up. No sense running the pitcher ragged with a 6-run lead. And that'll get Johnny Calliston to the plate. Second and third, 2 down. Let's see, so that was, hang on now, 2. So 1 more hit or walk will fatigue Nuxall. His third inning began right there with Buell. Left on left, a pitch to Calliston on a 1-5. He walks him to load him up, and he's fatigued. He's coming out of the game. Dick Allen coming up against a tired left-hander. Yeah. That's a no-brainer. Let's see if we can double switch. Really can't. It's the heart of the order. Right, left, left. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's between Balshin and Notabart. They're out of the game anyway, so we're going to let the usage display decide. We're going to go with Balshin. So Jack Balshin jogging in now. Let's go ahead and clean this up. Jay, 1 2/3 only. 8 hits. 6 runs. Walked 1. Did not strike out a batter. Nuxall, 3 innings. He was a 3 endurance. Okay, I was wrong about the endurance. Excuse me. 1 1/3. His endurance actually began at the... When did he work 2 innings? Right here. Okay. Didn't change anything. So in 3 innings of work, Nuxall 3, 4, 5 hits. 2 runs so far. The bases are loaded and they're all his. He walked 1, struck out 1, and now they turn it over to Jack Balshin. The Balshin may be out there for a while. It's been a nightmare season so far for Jack Balshin. He's 0-2 with an ERA of 15.26. Just 7 2/3 innings, but still. Much better against righties than lefties. Brought in to face the right-hander Dick Allen with the bases loaded and 2 down. Balshin gets the sign. The pitch to Allen on a 4-4. That's catcher's card. That's going to be Edwards. Edwards a good catcher, 2-4. Here's the play on a 2. It's a pop out to the catcher, and that ends the inning. So Balshin comes in and puts out the fire. And the Phillies leave the bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th. That closes the book on Nuxall. We go to the 6th in an 8-2 game. For Buell, his first endurance inning coming up. Perez, Helms, and Cardenas for the Reds. Yeah, Buell's halfway to the cycle. Perez 0 for 1 with a walk. Buell into the windup. Pitches a 3-4 righty. Called strike 3. That's strikeout number 4 for Buell. And the batter will be Tommy Helms. Buell into the windup. Pitch is a 4-6 right-handed. That's a base hit up the middle. 1 out single for Helms. And here's Leo Cardenas, who has a home run in this game. 1 for 2. Buell from the stretch. It's a 2-6 right-handed. It's a high fly ball to deep left field. Going back is Allen to 15. It's gone. Leo Cardenas with his second home run of the day. That makes it 8-4. Homer number 9 on the season for Leo Cardenas. I gotta look now. He hit 20 that year. So his season, very realistic. Doesn't hit for average. Not a big on-base guy, but he's an excellent fielding shortstop with some pop. I'm trying to make my case here. One more hit or walk will fatigue Buell. And that's going to get him stirring around in the Phillies' pen. Only one lefty down there. It's going to be Darryl Knowles. He pitched in this game in real life. With 1 out, the catcher Johnny Edwards steps to the plate. Left-handed hitter 0 for 2. The pitch from Buell is a 5-10 left-handed catcher's card. That's Dalrymple. Dalrymple with 2E3. Here's the play on an 8. It's a pop out to the catcher. Dalrymple makes the grab, and there's 2 down. And that brings up Balshin. Now it's an 8-4 game. Okay, they got to try. They'd really like to tire Buell here. Gordy Coleman grabs the bat. And he'll pinch hit for Balshin. As Don Notabart begins warming up in the Cincinnati pen. Two out, nobody on. Gordy Coleman on the season. Hitting .254, 4 home runs, 14 RBIs. Buell hanging on by the skin of his teeth into the windup. The pitch to Coleman on a 6-6 grounder to first. White has it. He takes it to the bag. And Buell lives to pitch another inning. 2 runs for Cincinnati on the 2-run blast by Cardenas, who's driven in 3 of their 4 runs. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 8-4 Phillies. And in comes Notabart. Take a look at Notabart's numbers. He's been in 21 games. He's 4-1 with 1 save and a 4.33 ERA. That makes McCool the only pitcher left. Davidson unavailable. And of course, unavailable is simply a guideline, okay? In this situation, if it comes down to it, I will use Davidson. But we'll try not to use him. Frank, we had a 4-homer day. Surely you remember. I know you were there. And hello to Josh Sports Cards, a new member to the chat. When do you know to change the pitcher? I'm not sure I fully understand. Do you mean when do I know he's fatigued? Sometimes I'll change them when they're not fatigued. But I think you're referring to the fatigue. Yes, okay. The score sheet was custom made for me by one of the viewers. If you're interested in it, I've sent it to quite a few people. Just shoot me an email. I'll shoot you back a PDF. It was Aaron, Frank. Aaron had a 4-homer game. Well, that reminds me about game score. Well, one thing at a time. Okay, in Notabart's case, and let's bring a starting pitcher out here too, just for the sake of this. In fact, Jay is a better example, Josh. He's rated 6 endurance for starting, 4 endurance for relief. So when they reach their inning of potential fatigue or later, if they give up 3 hits and or walks in that inning, they're retired. If they give up 4 hits and or walks in a 2-inning span, they're tired. So it's really pretty easy. What else was I going to say? Oh, game score. In the American League, okay, we had a tremendous performance recently by somebody. Hang on, it'll come to me. Mickey Mantle, remember, on June 8th, the big game of Mantle against Cleveland. That was a game score of 85, which ties Don Demeter for the best game score for a hitter in the American League this year. And Demeter's 85 was achieved way back on April 19th. And if you guys recall, I was going to mention that after I entered the game because I thought that Mantle might have the highest game score. He almost, he does. He's tied with Demeter. That's an 85, okay? In the National League, it's Aaron's 4-homer game with, get this, a game score of 126. It's on the main page, Josh. If you go in there and click on more, right where it says, tells a little bit about me and the channel, there's a spot there where you can view the email. Okay, I think I've answered all the questions. Hello, Joe. I don't know what the game score for, how the game score for hitters is calculated. The game score for pitchers was invented by Bill James back in the 1980s. And it probably would be more advantageous, more informative for you to look that up rather than have me try to half-ass explain it. I think it works pretty well for pitchers. I'm not sure how it works for hitters, but I mean, based on the high game scores, you'd have to admit the right guys are up there. Here's White. He hasn't been retired today. Single walk and a double. Notabart into the windup. That's going to be a 5-7 left-handed swung on and missed, strike 3. The Reds still in this one, albeit barely. And here's Tony Gonzalez. 1 for 3 today, a 2-run single back in the second. The pitch from Notabart on a 3-9 righty, called strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Notabart. I forgot to mark where he came in. He came in right there, and with 2 down, here's Dick Grote. Grote 0 for 3, excuse me. He's grounded to short all 3 times. The pitch from Notabart is a 6-5 righty, grounded to short X. Cardenas once again, 2-16 into the hole. Here's the play on a 12. It's the E range. It's an 8 on a 16, and it's yet another fine play by Leo Cardenas to end the inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Phillies in the 6th. Through 6 complete, it is 8-4 Phillies. The Reds trying to climb back into this one. Buell coming out for his second endurance inning. He gave up 2 hits in the 6th. No walks. So 2 hits and or walks would fatigue him here in the 7th. I say that just to clarify the rule again. Let's get Gordy Coleman out of there. He already hit. Top of the order for the Reds here in the 7th inning. Harper's 2 for 3 today. Buell gets the sign from Dalrymple. The windup and the pitch on a 3-8. It's a base hit for Harper. 3rd hit of the day for Harper. And now 1 more hit or walk will knock Buell out. Out to the mound goes Dalrymple as Knowles continues to ramp it up in the Philly pen. 0 hold for Buell. -2 arm for Dalrymple. 16. Harper held at 14. And the batter is Pete Rose. Rose 1 for 3 today. Rose standing in from the left side. Buell out of the stretch. The pitch on a 5-6 lefty. He hits a fly ball into right field. Playable for Callison, who's there to make the grab. 1 down. That'll bring up the center fielder, Veda Pinson. Pinson 1 for 3. Buell a check of the runner. From the stretch, it's a 6-3 fly to right field X. Tough chance for Callison. Good outfielder, Johnny. 2E3, sprinting towards the gap. He's on his horse on a 12, E range, a 5 on an E3. He makes an incredible running catch for the out. Oh my goodness, it's a web gem by Johnny Callison. What a play. And it'll be up to Darren Johnson with 2 down. That play kept Buell in the game. His pitch to Johnson on a 3-7 righty, called strike 3. And that'll do it for the Reds in the 7th. No runs, a hit, 1 left. As we go to stretch, Phillies 8, Reds 4. Phillies on the verge of sweeping the 3-game set from Cincinnati. And we're going to take a short break here. I'm going to get some more coffee. And we're going to fire up the Mookie Cam. Quite the life of a cat for Mookie today. No surprises. Uh-huh. There he is, taking a nap. Hey, Mookie. Mookie. We're going to have to go around. Hey, look up. What's up, Mookie? Stretch and go back to sleep. He does have something I got to show you, though. I got him a new super deluxe scratching post. It came in the mail. Honestly, if I'd have known it was going to be that big, I probably wouldn't have bought it. There's his old one to the left. But I wanted to try this kind of texture rather than the rope, because he just shreds the rope. We'll see how long it lasts. So there was 2 ropes on his bed. He shredded those. Shredded the middle one on the tree. He still got 2 good ones on the tree. He didn't like those for some reason. What's up there, Mookie? It's a bird festival out there, isn't it? You can hear all those birds, right? He does seem to go for the heights in the winter, Frank. Top of the tree. Of course, you know, up there. He hasn't been up there for a while. He has been on top of the refrigerator recently. But I think that's because there's stuff up there that he wants to play with. Oh, an air show to boot. Hang in there, Ben. It will get better. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it will. What the hell's going on with the, okay. Bottom of the 7th, back to the ball game. Don Notabart coming out for his 2nd inning of work. Bottom of the Phillies batting order due up. Clay Dalrymple, 2 for 3 with a home run, will lead it off. Notabart gets the sign. Pitches a 6-7 left-handed. Sorry, a 6-6 left-handed. That's going to be banged into right field, double to 4, and it is a double for Dalrymple. Holy cow. Dalrymple now needing a triple for the cycle. Did I make the dice jump? Hang on, I gotta check something here. Timeout for a replay review. Well, I can try, Josh. Hang on a second. I read it as a 6-6. I want to see, now it shows a 3-6, but sometimes when I slide the die over to roll the 20, I move it. So here's the roll for Dalrymple again. I'm watching the replay. It was a 6-6. Okay, I jumped him. All right. I'm going to try to do this. And I'm going to put some spaces in there because a lot of the time it doesn't let me do that. So ignore the spaces, obviously. Dalrymple at second, nobody out. Here's Phil Linz, who's 0 for 3. Notabart gets the sign, checks the runner, comes to the plate, 1-7 right-handed, fly to center, playable. Pinson is there and makes the catch, and the runner will hold. Buell cruising with a 4-run lead. He's going to hit. Pitch to the right-hander on a 4-7. He walks him. Quite a day at the plate for Bob Buell. Doubled in the second, grounded to second in the third, singled in the fifth, and now walks in the seventh. First and second, here's Cookie Rojas, 2 for 4 on the day. Notabart with the pitch. That's going to be a 1-9 right-handed, and he walks to load him up. Bases loaded, 1 out. Johnny Callison coming to bat. Dick Allen on deck. The Reds really do not want to use another pitcher in this game. Nobody throwing in the Cincinnati pen. It's all on Notabart as he gets ready to pitch to Callison here. Infield a double play deck. Here's the pitch on a 2-6. It's a grounder to shortstop. Cardenas to Rose for 1 to first, not in time, and a run will score. That's a 6-4 force. Dalrymple crosses the plate to make it 9-4. Buell to third. Give Callison an RBI on the play. And the batter is Dick Allen. Allen 2 for 4 today. Notabart gets the sign. The pitch on a 4-9. He walks him to reload the bases. Well, Notabart having all kinds of problems here. Phillies threatening to blow it open. 2 out, bases loaded, and Bill White steps to the plate. Notabart's pitch to White on a 4-9 left-handed at the liner towards first, single to 15. And it's knocked down by Perez, who has no play. That's an RBI single for Bill White. Scoring is Buell. Callison stops at third. And it is 10-4. At this point, the Reds do not want to waste McCool or Davidson in this kind of a game. Tony Gonzalez 1 for 4. The pitch is a 3-8 righty. Called strike 3, and that's the inning. Gonzalez strikes out for the second time today. The Phillies score 2 more runs on 2 hits, and they leave the bases full. And they take a 10-4 lead to the 8th. Buell would like to finish what he started. Exactly, Ben. Not bad for a one-hitting pitcher. 10-4, good buddy. What was that early mid-1970s hit about the truck driver? The memory is so vague, I can't even give you any more info than that. My apologies. Okay, Reds in the 8th. That's it, Ben. I'll be damned. You got that from that? That's amazing. Holy crap. That's it. Convoy. Who did it? For the trifecta. There you go. Yep, that's the one. Yeah, it was the 10-4 that made me think of that. Isn't that weird? Here's Perez 0 for 2 with the walk. Buell set now. Comes in with a 6-3 right-handed. It's a fly ball to right field X. Tough chance for Callison, a good outfielder, 2-E3. Callison on his horse. He runs it down for the out. Nice play, Johnny Callison. One of several today. Here's Helms, 1 for 3. Buell gets the sign. On a 2-12, he lines it right into the glove of Grote at short. And here's Cardenas now, to 2-homer day for Leo. Buell with the pitch on a 6-11, hard smash to third. Linz, 2 white. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Buell. He's just 3 outs away from a complete game now. Yes, unmitigated, and all I can say there is welcome to the club. I think every Strat-O-Matic player that ever played the game would agree with you. Especially when they do it in a key situation and drive in a run, right? And today a good example of that. Buell with a tremendous offensive game, and he's a 1. Yeah, even my buddy had a CB radio. Probably one of the most unlikely guys that you could ever imagine having one. First endurance inning for Nottavard as we go to the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Grote, Dalrymple, and Linz. Nottavard into the windup. That's a 6-6 right-handed. That's going to be a liner towards third. Single to 11. And that's going to be speared there by Helms. 1 away, and here's Dalrymple. Dalrymple needs a triple for the cycle. Can he hit one? He sure can. He needs a 2-5, 1 through 6. He's got a couple on Nottavard's card, too. A chance at 5-5 and 5-6. The pitch to Dalrymple. 4-7, he walks him. He didn't get the cycle, but a big day at the plate for Clay Dalrymple. Yeah, he was traded for Ivan De Jesus, and I think they traded Boa and Sandberg for De Jesus, something like that. Boa was getting long in the tooth, and the Phillies wanted a younger shortstop. Nottavard from the stretch. The pitch to Linz is a 3-5, and that's ripped into left center. Double to 11. And that's going to be a double, stopping at third Dalrymple. And now one more hitter walk will fatigue Nottavard. Holy cow. Who can we bring in here? Yikes. Emergency situations, and Ted Davidson begins throwing. Was trying not to use Davidson in this game. Infield in now for Buell. B Butter becomes a C. Yes, one of my sisters knew him. My late sister, Deborah, went to school with Sandberg. North Central High School. I was still living in California at the time. Notabart's pitch to Buell is going to be a 2-4. Struck him out. 2 down. It'll be up to Cookie Rojas. Notabart set. The pitch to Cookie on a 6-4 righty. Grounder to short X. It's Cardenas yet again. 2-16. On an 8, E-range, a 7 on a 16, and he makes another fine play to end the inning. What a game for Leo Cardenas. No runs a hit, 2 left on. So yeah, I mean, I knew all about him before he was drafted. You're not far off, Franklin. Sometimes I wish I could use the batter's pitching card in these kind of games and save the bullpen a little bit. I've never done that in a replay. So Bob Buell now, trying to complete what he started. It'll be Edwards, a pinch hitter, and Harper. As we go to the 9th inning, I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody for watching today. Good to be back rolling after a day off. I needed the day off yesterday. Holy cow, after going through all that internet crap. It was nice to have a day with absolutely nothing to do. I did have to return the AT&T equipment to UPS. That was easy. That's all I did. Sometimes you just got to do that. Okay, 9th inning. Edwards 0 for 3. Buell into the windup. That's going to be a 3-10 righty, and he walks him. Leadoff walk to Edwards, and we will have a pinch hitter for the pitcher. And that's going to be the left-handed hitting Art Shamsky coming off the bench. Laugher of the game on a Sunday. We seem to get a lot of the laughers on Sundays, don't we? Shamsky hitting just 173, 13 for 75. He does have 4 home runs. Buell checks the sign. The pitch on a 4-3 left-handed is a grounder to the pitcher X. Buell a 3-11. And here's the result of that play. On a 4, it's the E-range. A 3 on an 11, that's going to be an error on Buell. So E1 and the first 2 Reds reach here in the 9th. The error, of course, does not count against Buell's fatigue. Let's see what they've got here. In a lopsided game, they really don't need to go to Knowles anymore. And it will be Roger Craig tuning up in the Phillies pen. Computer-only card. First and second, no one out. Here is Harper, who's 3 for 4. Buell checks the runners, comes to the plate 5-5 righty, fly to right, playable. Callison is there. That's the first out. Here's Pete Rose now. Rose 1 for 4. Buell gets the sign from Clay Dalrymple. The pitch to Rose is a 4-2, and he walks him to load him up. So to recap here, it is now 10-4 Phillies, bases loaded, 1 out. One more hitter walk will fatigue Buell. Buell has a little extra leash with the big lead. Here's Pinson. Buell trying to get a ground ball here. The pitch to Veda Pinson. Infield back. 2-11. Ground ball to the pitcher. He goes down to Grote for one, to first not in time, and a run will score. So a 6-4 force scores Edwards. Shamsky to third. 10-5, but the Reds are down to their last out. Runners at the corners. Darren Johnson at the plate. Buell's pitch is a 4-10 righty. It's a shallow high pop fly to left field. Allen jogging in, waiting for it to come down, and that's the ball game. Reds get a run. 10-5 Phillies is the final. Buell, by the skin of his teeth, gets the complete game. He's the winning pitcher. He's 4-2 now. Very unexpected, Ben. Yeah, I wouldn't have bet on that one. He gave up 5, 6, 8, 9 hits. 5 runs. He walked 1, 2, 3. 2 of them in the ninth when he was fatiguing. Only 1 walk going into the ninth. He struck out 3, 4, 5. Jay, of course, takes the loss. He's 3-4 now. Notabart worked 3 innings. Gave up 4 hits, 2 runs. Walked 3. Struck out 4. I tell you what, I'd really like to give it to Cardenas. I'll let you guys chime in. Frank likes Buell. Franklin also likes Cardenas. Yeah, the 2 home runs, and then he's got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 assists. 3 X-plays, one of them a gem. Yeah, my rule on player of the game is it doesn't necessarily have to be from the winning team, right? It's kind of like the best player versus most valuable player thing. This is just for the best performance of the game. Dalrymple and White, good nominations as well. I tell you, if Dalrymple had tripled in the 8th instead of walked, it would be a no-doubter, wouldn't it? Good point there by Frank on Buell's hitting, too, though. Boy, this is a tough one. He did hit well, but the fact of the matter is he didn't pitch all that well. He just had a lot of runs scored for him. You know what? I'm sticking with Cardenas. 2 homers and a fantastic day in the field. And it's very, very close. You can make a good case for Buell, Dalrymple, White. Hell, Harper had a 3-hit game. That's a good way to look at it, Ben. Philly was a win by committee. The totals on the game: the Phillies in winning scored 10 runs, 17 hits, 1 error. Man, they hit today. Reds 5 runs, 9 hits, and an error. Thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate the support, as always. Tomorrow on the schedule, we've got the last game of June the 9th. That's going to be the final game of the Cardinals at Pirates series. Al Jackson will be opposed by Woody Fryman. So please join me for that, 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern. I'm going to go grab a late lunch, and wishing you guys all a pleasant good evening and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care, everybody. So long for now.